Okay, so good morning or afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. Um, I am Marvie Gasataya, and here in this video, I'm going to showcase the current progress of our group in regards to the IM2 final project. I'm here together with my other group members, Ivana and Wayne and Ixia. Wayne and Ixia are in another section, but they are still under you. Ivana and are in the same section. So we're gonna discuss what we have made in our current project today. We have two GitHub repositories, one for our front end and one for our back end. Currently, we're using the REST API method, so that's why we have our front end and back end separated. This is for better organization of our code, so that the code won't be like messy. And right now we have like established GitHub projects. So we have two projects, one for the front end and one for the server. The server contains all the SQL code and um, connection to the database, while the front end is just um, getting the data, getting the data from the database, receiving that data from the API, and then translating it into the uh, client side. So right now, the way we have our project structured is that in GitHub projects, we assigned each member a ticket. So you can see that there's different tickets here. And for each ticket, we track the progress of who has done what. So for example, here, Ixia is assigned the modal enter address, and if ever she clicks on the link, it will take her to the Figma page, which has the exact modal that she needs to work on. So we currently have our mock-up for our UI design that's already done with, and all we need to do now is to translate this design into code. So that's the current progress. So this is the UI design. So you can see that we already have our design for the front page and other designs as well. So we're currently just working on the whole user side for the project. We do have a worker design, but I have not uploaded it into the Figma page. I'll be doing that within this week, since there was like a lot of things we had to finish. So let's look for the worker. Here it is. So this is what the worker side looks like. So comparing it with the homeowner, you can see that they land on the landing page. So this is our index.php page. They can choose to sign up if they have not have an account yet. So it will take them to this modal, and then they will go through the steps. And you can see that it requires for them to verify their identity with the SMS. And we also already have that in progress. We're going to use the Sendbird API for SMS verification because it has like a few free credits. And um, so comparing it to the worker side, you can see it's more or less the same page structure. The difference is there's an extra step to the verification since they have to apply to the app because they're gonna use our app to connect and freelance. So for example, carpenters, um, electricians, gardeners, repairmen can connect to the app And also, homeowners can connect to the app, and then they'll be paired according to the project that they need and the skill level of the worker, and also the worker's location. So for the worker side, they need to be over the age of 18, and they still need to go through the SMS verification just like the homeowner. But unlike the homeowner, they have to go through an application process which needs to be approved, because they need to submit like a few documents. Since they'll be visiting the house of the homeowner, they need to be verified that they have no criminal record in their NBI. So you can see that for the homeowner side, it just takes them straight. So after they verified with the SMS, they could use the app. They can put a post and then specify the project that they want to do, and then these project it will be saved in the database. And after they have a project, they can contact workers, like available workers, and then set their date and time for when they want to have their project done, and then they could book a project with them. On the worker side, they won't go directly to the account. They will first go through the application process. So you can see that they're registering. It asks them to enter the type of skill they have, and if ever they have any certifications, and so on and so forth. So they'll go through an extra registration process. So that's for the UI. And XD, we still have UI for the extra for the admin, but more or less it's just tables. It's not gonna be fancy. It's just gonna uh, replicate like more or less what PHP admin looks like. So that's for the current state of our UI UX. And as you can see, it's distributed evenly among the members. So for example, this modal is assigned to Ixia. This one uh, is assigned to Wayne, and then this one, this page is assigned to me, and it's made clear through this tracking by GitHub project. So you can see that uh, for Ivana, if I click on this link, it will take me to the modal that uh, we need to work on. So that's how we're uh, organizing our project. Um, and we also have done continuous integration. So what that means is we do have a local project set up. So we'll show you what the local project looks like. Home Hero, there we go. And it's here. And as you can see, the front page is done. Um, so the front page is done with all the stuff, and some of it is not made yet. Like for example, this login modal, it's not available yet. But this is in our local host. We also have a production site, which we deployed via Heroku, so that we can do continuous integration. So if ever there needs to so if ever the time comes we need to pass the project, we can give you both the file, and also we can give you this link so you can see it live and actually working. So I'll turn off SAMP so you can see that it's not in the local environment but hosted on a server. Let's go ahead and click on that. Let's open it in incognito so that you can see that it is indeed in the server. So more or less what you see in our local project, in our local machine, is replicated here in the production site, since we're using Heroku for continuous integration. Um, so So what happens is, someone will submit a pull request, and I'm the one who will review that pull request. And if ever it's already good, I will go ahead and merge it into the project. And let's go ahead and see sample commits. So for example, Wayne committed his project changes, and then I do a review and then a production commit, and then I deploy it into Heroku so that it will reflect on the production site. Currently, we haven't set up automatic deployment because we're mostly focusing on creating the code for the project. So we're not doing automatic deployment, it's all manual. And yeah, so you can see that with GitHub, it tracks like who is committing what. If we view older commits, you can see uh, commits by Ixia and also Ivana. So that's the GitHub projects and continuous integration. Not only do we have a production site, but we also have a remote uh, database set up. Heroku is free and remote MySQL is free, so that's why we use them. I'll go ahead and log in the production site. So we have a local database here, and you can see all the tables for the workers, homeowner, and like all the tables to track the data, which will use SQL commands to pull from. Let me go ahead and log in. All right. So let me refresh. Let's see if I'll log in and it's loading. Let me go ahead and okay, there it loaded. So compared to our um, local database, you can see that we haven't finished uploading all the tables yet. We only uploaded the tables for the homeowner side so that we can test some API on our back end. But we'll be slowly uploading all the rest of these tables into our production database. So that we will have like the same data. So for example, if ever like Ixia or if ever like Wayne's doing some testing, we'll all have the same data. So if ever we see like some bugs, we can easily replicate that on our end. My group mates also have access to this database, so they have the login credentials. So if ever they see that they need to modify some tables, they could go ahead and do that right away. So you can see that we have the latitude and longitude for the city, and that city will be connected to the worker and the homeowner, and then they're gonna be paired according to their location. So there's gonna be like a query that will pull from this data, and then our code will use that data so that we could like go ahead and like go ahead and pair them together. So here is like the table for the homeowner. Wait, no, it's for the general user. We do have a table for the homeowner as well. So for the users, you can see that there's like a user type ID, and the user type ID would indicate if they're a homeowner, a worker, support, or admin. So we could just like imagine the queries that we need to do. Like for example, how many pull all the users who are homeowners or pull all the users who are workers in our database. And I'll show you that it's currently working. Our API, backend API, has been set up. And I'll log into the Okay, let's go ahead and view the production site. So when we sign up, it's gonna reflect here in the it's gonna reflect here in the where is this? It's gonna reflect here in the remote database. Is this the yes? This is the remote database. So let me go ahead and did I turn off SAP? Yep, I did turn off SAP. So Home Hero, I'll just put that near here so that I could click easier. Uh, so the last entry is the this entry, which is FGGRTGTG, and we're gonna go ahead and enter one. So let's say Danny Smith, and the mobile number 02222222, and then enter password 1234, re-enter 1234, and then agree, and then it will create the account, and it's loading. All right, so that's a success. It saved to the database. Let's go ahead and load that. Okay, it's loading, and then you can see here that's the last entry, Danny Smith. So talking about the database, currently for the group, um, we only have uh, the front end and UI project set up where it's like shared. I just finished setting up the database and server, and right now it hasn't been distributed yet, the workload. Since I'll be doing that this week and meeting my group to share the workload for the server. And uh, we're using the Slim framework for our server. Uh, yeah, Slim 3, so that we can still use the MySQL queries. But the Slim framework will help us in the REST API that we're currently gonna do. So for example, here in this is our back end, and you can see that let's look for the user model. And here, there's the query to query for registration, and then it's inserting into the Home Hero user database, and then with the with the uh, with the forms, with the fields that's specified in the forms. So that's it. And currently, for the other stuff, let me go ahead and log into the local host so that you can see other stuff that we're doing. Home Hero. Okay, so currently the only things that work is the sign up. This modal was made by Wayne, and for the login, it's not yet available. Search, not yet. It's not functional yet. Um, for this area, popular postings, it's currently not pulling from the database. It's just mock data, and what I mean by that is um, we have a mock data folder here, and then it has like the structure of what our data looks like when pulled from the database so that we could like use it in the site. So it's currently not pulled from the website, but once the database has been set up, like the live database, we're gonna match them so that we could integrate like our SQL queries so that we could, for example, popular postings in our area, it will dynamically pull from the database like what are the popular posts in the user's area. Also, same for here, like featured heroes. It would pull the highest ranking workers from the user's area. So we can like imagine the queries that we need to do in order to accomplish that. So for this, even though it's like um, not from the database, our front end is set up in a way where it's ready to accept data from the database. So for example, here you can see this card. This guy's name is Jeremy Myers with a card of like a 4 point something stars. And if I like modify anything here, it would reflect right away. So for example, let's name him Danny Bo, and then he completed 123 projects, and then his rating is 1. So take note that it's Jeremy Myers, high rating 63, but I changed it here. So I'm gonna save it since it's local host. It's gonna reflect right away, and then you can see it reflected. So you can imagine that once we have the data and we just inject it um, into like our site, it would like load the cards needed for that. So what else? Uh, we have discussed everything. So for my end, what I did is the design. So I did the front end designing. I did the header, the footer, and this front page. For the rest of the group, they're currently working on the modals. Let's go ahead and go back. So for the rest of the group, uh, they're currently working on the modals and other pages. So you can see that there's a lot here. And for what Wayne did, we'll showcase it. Let me find the local host. Okay, so um, here this is like Wayne's modal. He made this. But for the other modals, like for example, in the sign up, when you click create account, it shouldn't like add it straight to the database. But since we're like testing if it's working, for now it's adding to the database. But like when we're done setting it up, it's going to send a text message to verify the user. So it's going to redirect to an SMS verification modal, and it's here. So it's already done. It just needs to be integrated. So we still need to integrate the message bird API and then like put it in here so that that's like an extra step so that before it like before it gets saved into the database, they need to verify their identity through the phone number. And like here, exact other modals that Wayne made. For me, I did the landing page. So this is already mobile friendly. Um, you can see that when I adjust it, it when I adjust it, it's whoops. When I adjust it, it automatically resizes. The bar turns into like a menu bar. The footer turns into a clickable footer, and then you can see that the modal still works. Also, if it's um, depending on the phone size, yeah, it still works. Sign up still works. And like if I choose like other device sizes, iPad, so here it works. You can see that the images adjust and the sizes also adjust according to your device. So I was in charge of that. And then you can see my commits for that. Let's go ahead and check it. Commits. Uh, so like it's here. So yeah, all the commits for the page integration. Here's like all Wayne's commits for the modals and so on and so forth. I'll be passing this video. So the next clip you're going to hear my other group mates discuss on their side what they done. I just gave you like an overview of what I done. So since I was like the project leader, I was the one who established the GitHub projects. I was the one who set up the server, and within this week, I'll be meeting my group, and um, I'll be distributing the tasks needed to be done for the back end. Since we already made like progress on our front end, we just need to connect it to the back end. So here is Wayne, and he's gonna discuss what he did so far on his end.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Wayne Dayata, and I'm a member of the HomeHero team with regards to our final project in IM2. Marvie has discussed already the flow of our app. For me, I am in charge of making some of the models that can be seen in the UI that was designed. And unlike the main pages that Marby create, which is more on retrieving data and choosing the options that are found, the models are mostly used to have the users input their information such as the login credentials or job descriptions, project descriptions, and even their addresses and payment information. As of now, I have created 4 out of 15 models, and the rest will be also finished by me and also the rest of our teammates together. Since there's only the landing page, I'm just temporarily gathering buttons to have the models loaded, which later on we will properly link them with JavaScript. So, for instance, the sign up is typically the place where users will create their accounts. And for verification, there's already a minimal JavaScript code that I made to only accept numbers, and it's being spaced this way. And by the way, this verify SMS, this will be implemented using MessageBird API. So for the other two, I have check availability. So for instance, this model is used when the users finish inputting their job info, and it's where they will choose when they want the job to be done. So they can either choose estimated dates so that to give whatever allowance they need for the project to be done, or if they are only free for specific dates, then they can choose the specific date and time here, and it will be subject to the availability of the workers during the time period to accept the request. Yeah, our team is mostly working on the front end so far, and we are prioritizing it. As we can see, there's barely any info yet in the info or code for the back end, because we just want to by through making all the front end pages, we will be able to better optimize the data and information that needs to be retrieved, managed, and transferred in every page and modal, so that we can make our database more concise and efficient, and there will be no problem when we transition to back-end design. That will be it for my part, sir, and thank you so much.
Hello. So far this is the code for the login modal. Here is its custom CSS. It's quite long. And here is the code for the modal, the main code. And this is how it looks like live. But the button here is not final. This is going to be connected to the main UI. And these are the labels and the logo. That is all. Thank you.